Hey, what's up everybody? Aaron here, and today I wanted to discuss my high blood pressure and the steps that I took to make it a hell of a lot better. Stick around. So once again, I wanted to welcome everybody to my channel. My name is Aaron, and I have been on a health journey for quite some time. I have discussed it in previous videos. I actually follow a keto/carnivore diet, and it's gave me some amazing results. But discussing my high blood pressure is a different animal entirely, because even doing keto and carnivore, up until rather recently, my blood pressure has been still uncontrolled. I take medications, I've tried to follow simple strategies, and none of them ever worked. So if you're struggling with high blood pressure, this video is going to be for you. And I'm going to be honest, I cured my high blood pressure. I wouldn't say cured, it's controlled. I've learned to control my blood pressure with a few simple steps that might be counterintuitive to what you hear in the keto and carnivore community. And if you find this video helpful for anybody struggling with high blood pressure, even if you're not on a ketogenic diet or you're not on a carnivore diet, please do me a favor and leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. And I'm gonna try to see if this video gets some traction, because I've been doing the keto and carnivore diet for a total of 4 years now. Time seems to fly. I've lost about 180 pounds doing a combination of keto and carnivore, and I've been on every diet known to man. So a little backstory here. I've been dealing with high blood pressure since I was a teen. I'll throw a little picture up here so you can see how big I was. It's not something that I'm proud of. By my teens, I was probably close to 400 pounds, getting upwards to 500 by the time I was at my heaviest. And it's something that if I knew the strategies of losing weight then, now I will be a completely different human. But even though I lost weight, my blood pressure was still uncontrollably high. At its highest, my blood pressure was, I believe, 220 over 110 in those numbers, which, if you know anything about high blood pressure, that is stroke high. That is aortic aneurysm high. You can die at any moment type of high. And that's what I lived with my entire life. And even though when I started keto and carnivore, all my other health markers sort of took a positive turn, I could not figure out why my blood pressure was still so high. I understand weight loss is supposed to be a huge factor in lowering blood pressure, and even though I lost all that weight, my blood pressure has still, up until about a month ago, been extremely high. Even taking medication, none of that ever worked until I started doing something counterproductive that all the keto and carnivore gurus sort of tell you not to do. And that simple tip was lowering my salt intake. I know there's a lot of keto and carnivore proponents, mostly carnivore proponents, that have sort of preached this not adding salt to your food, not using salt to your food. And for the longest time, I just didn't believe them. Because if you watch most carnivore videos, everyone says salt your food, get electrolytes in, get your potassium, magnesium in. I've even tested just taking potassium and magnesium, and that would still raise my blood pressure to an uncomfortable degree. But the second I stopped using salt excessively, I still use a little bit here and there, but it's definitely not what I used to. The second I started using salt more mindfully, my blood pressure dropped. And I'm going to show you my numbers right now. They're about a fraction of what they used to be. And I mean, honestly, they're normal levels. It's not always like that. I check my blood pressure frequently. I check my blood pressure maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times a day, just to make sure that it's in a comfortable level. If you're struggling with high blood pressure, I highly recommend getting a blood pressure cuff. Luckily, the cuff that I got was gifted to me, and it is not the most accurate because it's on my wrist, but it's still an amazing product to have available to you, because you don't want to think that you're doing the right thing when it's really still adding to the problem. And just taking the salt out of the food has changed things dramatically. I know, the meals are boring. They're not as fun tasting as they used to be, but there actually been a array of benefits for taking the salt out that I didn't even know that I needed. Salt itself really makes food palatable. It makes you overeat. So taking the salt out, and I don't mean you have to take it out completely. I sprinkle salt very lightly on my food now, and it doesn't taste as delicious as it used to taste, but it allows me to eat less, which actually helps my weight loss, which in turn lowers my weight, lowers my blood pressure, and it's been very good to me. I have never in my life seen my blood pressure this low. And honestly, I thought I was just gonna die at an early age. I just thought that this was my fate, my body was broken, and there was no way I was gonna survive past 50. Eventually, I want to get off my blood pressure medications, but this is a huge start. And I suggest if you're not on a ketogenic or carnivore diet, please try it. And this is something really near and dear to my heart, because a lot of black people, I'm just going to say it, are still not hip to keto or carnivore. They're pushing the vegan and vegetarian diet on my population, and I think it's demonstrably wrong. Not only are we not getting the nutrients we need, some nutrients that are only found in the animal kingdom. I mean, you could look at people who do long-term veganism online, and you can clearly see them deteriorating. And that's exactly what they want for my people. But I'm not going to get into a rant like that today. I'm going to get into it another day. But once again, I highly suggest you start taking away salt, contrary to what you hear online. If you start feeling dizzy or tired, you obviously need some salt in your diet. If you're working out, and that's actually an important thing. If you're working out, this sort of negates the not having any salt. You really want to titrate your salt to your activity. Someone like me, like I notice the days that I feel the worst is when I eat too much salt and I'm not working out and I'm not moving. And that's when my body really gets hit with extremely high blood pressure. And I'll be honest, lowering my salt intake did have a negative impact on the way I felt. I did feel lethargic, I did feel tired, I did feel weak for about the first week or two taking out salt. But now I pretty much feel normal. So with the help of medication and diet intervention, I have pretty much turned a lifelong problem into something that I can manage. And that's what I wanted to let you guys know, that there is hope. I promise you there's hope. I felt hopeless for a long time about my blood pressure, and now I have finally found a strategy that works. So once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video and gleaned something important out of it, please do me a favor and leave a thumbs up or comment or subscribe. And please share this with somebody who needs it. There are so many people suffering from high blood pressure, and it is so damaging. If you guys know my story, it almost killed me. High blood pressure is a silent killer. Luckily, I survived my ordeal. You know, I might talk about that more in another video, be a little more candid about it. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Talk to you later. Peace.